Yeah, we back. Yeah, we back. Now today's gonna be a quick video. I'm gonna be debunking a talking point that I'm sure you're gonna hear from some detractors, and it's gonna be a follow up to the one I just dropped in regards to my video about Sierra, Lauryn Hill, and others going to Benin, getting citizenship, things like that. I'm gonna be responding to some comments in my comment section and debunking some common talking points. Now, if you watch my last video, then you already know I spoke about Benin, reaching out to the diaspora, making the connection, trying to drive tourism and traffic to the country, things like that. And a common talking point you're going to hear is, oh, the country is looking for a money grab. This is a money grab, right? I want to talk about that first. Now, the reason why I don't think that's a solid argument is because if I was a minister of tourism in a country, or if I was a minister of finance or anything like that, there are many demographics that I would target before the diaspora. If I really was going after a money grab, if I was trying to drive traffic in tourism, there are several demographics that I would target before I target the black diaspora, right? First things first, you have the European expats, right? The guys from, Germany, France, Switzerland, the UK, the guys who are retired, they got disposable income, right? That's the first demographic that I would target for tourism if it was all about a money grab, right? The retired European expat. They got disposable income. They can purchase vacation properties. They're going to spend money on the safari and all type of different things in the country. And after the wealthy European expat, then you got the wealthy, white Americans, right? Target them for the same reason, disposable income. They're going to spend money on, properties, vacation homes, tourist activities, things like that. Then after that, you got the Arab elites from the Gulf states, the UAE, the Saudi Arabian Arabs, things like that. Then, of course, you got the Canadians as well, right? And you already have nations that already target these demographics for the most part. For example, most of the major tourist destinations, such as, Brazil, Mexico, Thailand, the Dominican Republic, Colombia, etc. These nations typically target the demographics that I just mentioned before, right? The wealthy European expat, the American expat, the Canadian expat, tourist, digital nomad, whatever. These are the demographics that are typically targeted by governments for tourism and things like that, or a money grab, because these demographics typically have disposable income, they're retired, they got money to spend, things like that. So those are the demographics that you would target if you were looking for a money grab. Now, ironically, the nations that I mentioned before, Colombia, Mexico, Thailand, and things like that, they never get accused of looking for a money grab themselves, right? That's actually pretty ironic. Only African nations get accused of looking for a money grab, when in reality, in my opinion, if it was really about a money grab, the black diaspora would not be the first demographic to be targeted, because there are other more profitable demographics that you can target. And isn't it ironic that the nations that typically prioritize black tourism are the only ones who get accused of looking for a money grab? For example, Kenya, is a nation that is open to those demographics that I mentioned before: the European expat, the American expat, the Canadian expat. Kenya is a major tourist destination for a lot of different groups, but Kenya never gets accused of looking for a money grab when they open their doors to the Italians and the British and the Germans and the Canadians and everything in between, right? Somehow Kenya never gets accused of looking for a money grab, but nations like Benin, nations like Ghana that prioritize black dollars being spent, that prioritize black tourism, for some reason, they're the ones that get criticized for, they just looking for a money grab. They just looking for a money grab. But the nations, like I mentioned before, the Mexicos, the Colombias, the everything else that's open to the white tourists and the Western tourists, they never get accused of looking for a money grab. In fact, a lot of y'all pack y'all bags and go over there directly, voluntarily, without them even asking you to do so. You voluntarily give them your money. But the African nation prioritizing black tourism and black dollars, they get accused of, he looking for a money grab. He looking for a money grab, right? We have to ask why that is. We have to ask, how come nations that prioritize white dollars and white tourism never get accused of looking for a money grab, but the nations that prioritize black dollars and black tourism, they get accused of looking for money grabs? When in reality, the black diaspora is not the most profitable demographic to target if you're really looking for a money grab, right? the black diaspora doesn't have the most disposable income if you're looking for a money grab, right? To be honest with you, I'm not saying that we don't got a few dollars to spend, we don't got any money, but I'm saying there are other demographics who are more profitable that you can target if it's really all about a money grab. If it's all about a money grab, you would not target the black diaspora first and foremost, right? So the entire money grab talking point, it doesn't make sense because number one, it's not a money grab. It's called circulating your dollars, right? Isn't it funny how we have agents of division who have now taken the circulation of our dollars and now have replaced it and repackaged it as, oh, they're looking for a money grab, right? And another thing too, African nations are not the first nations to prioritize their own racial group in regards to tourism and immigration. You had nations like the United States, Brazil, Argentina, various other countries in Latin America that did the exact opposite. They tried to attract tourism and immigration from European nations to boost the numbers of the white population in their countries. That's why you had a lot of Nazi Germans that went to, Argentina and Brazil and random places like that. And, the Dominican Republic opened their doors to a lot of European immigrants as well. And, a lot of nations, the United States flooded the country with European immigrants, right? So nations have always opened their doors to their racial group, prioritize their racial group in regards to, immigration and tourism and the circulation of their dollars and things like that. So African nations are simply doing the opposite, right? They're prioritizing immigration and tourism from the black diaspora, similar to how other nations, like I mentioned before, put policies on the books to attract immigration and tourism from the European diaspora to boost the population of the Europeans in their country. And also another reason why I think it's a good thing to target the black diaspora above those other groups that I mentioned before is the downside when you target those other groups, the wealthy Westerners and the expats and things like that, is that you attract a lot of negative elements, right? You get a lot of pedophiles coming to your country, a lot of sex tourists, a lot of guys who are going to come and engage in a lot of nefarious activities in the country, things like that, right? So typically, when you target, the Western, tourists, you get a lot of negative elements like that. So to me, I would much rather see the diaspora come into Benin or come into African nations instead of some pedophile from, a Western country, a Western tourist who wants to go to the continent to, touch on children. I don't want him to go to the continent and spend money. I'd much rather the diaspora come to the continent and spend money. And I'm pretty sure that the governments feel the same way. They'd much rather have somebody from the diaspora come to the country and circulate their dollar instead of some 70-year-old pervert who wants to engage in sex tourism. Now, another talking point that I want to talk about, this brother came into the comment section and he said this. Take a look up on the screen. My question is, why is it always celebrities? What about the average person that can take care of themselves, right? Now, first things first, it's all about marketing and promotion. Do you think that it would be headline news? Do you think that it would be a story in the headlines if a random guy got a citizenship in Benin? For example, if a random accountant or a bus driver, got citizenship in Benin, do you think that would be headline news? Do you think that would drive traffic and engagement? Do you think that would drive tourism to the country if, Derek the electrician, he got citizenship in Benin, right? Joseph the plumber, he got citizenship in Benin. Of course, it'd be a good story, but would it drive traffic? No, of course, to get the clicks and the views and drive traffic and drive tourism and drive interest and conversation, yes, it's going to be headline news. Oh, superstar singer Lauryn Hill, came to Benin, right? Oh, superstar singer Ciara came to Benin, Oh man, famous Haitian DJ Tony Mix just came to Benin, That's gonna drive the traffic, the engagement, the excitement. That's gonna inspire other people to also come over and check it out and see what's going on and circulate their dollar and things like that, right? Now, of course, this is open to anybody. You can go out and apply for your citizenship if you're qualified to do so. But obviously the celebrities are going to be the one in the headlines and driving traffic because of their popularity and their name. Just like if I got a t-shirt for sale, right? I'm going to send it out to some celebrities, some influencers, some popular figures so they can market it, they can promote it, they can drive, engagement and excitement and interest in what I have for sale, what I have going on, right? If I send my t-shirt to, Anthony down the street, I mean, that's a nice gesture, of course, but nobody's going to know about it. Nobody's going to talk about it, right? But if I give my t-shirt to, a famous basketball player, if I give my t-shirt to, a famous producer or famous artist, right, that's going to drive a lot of traffic, a lot of engagement, a lot of conversation, a lot of excitement. It's just basic marketing and promotion, right? So when you see them, collaborate with the celebrities, it's simply to drive engagement as well as raise awareness. It's not anything nefarious on the part of the government, right? That's just simple, basic marketing promotion 101. Do you think that anybody would be talking about Benin giving out citizenship to the diaspora if they had collaborated with a random, bus driver from Alabama? Oh yeah, we just gave citizenship to, Tony from Alabama. You think that's going to drive traffic and excitement? No, of course not. But when you got Ciara, Lauryn Hill, Tony Mix, etc., that's going to drive the traffic, the engagement, the conversation. But in summary, no, I don't believe this is a money grab because, like I said before, there are other demographics with more disposable income that you can target if it's really all about a money grab, right? So when you see African nations reaching out to the diaspora, it's not because we have the most money, because we don't. We don't. When I see Benin, the government of Benin, reaching out to Tony Mix, the Haitian DJ, you think he did that because Haitians, we have just an endless amount of money? You think they're looking for the money grab from the Haitians? No, of course not. So it's obviously something more deeper there than simply just dollars and cents, because in terms of dollars and cents, there are other demographics that you can target if it's all about the dollars and cents. Even when it comes to black folks in America, if it's all about the money, if it's all about a money grab, why not target the wealthy white Americans who have the disposable income to engage in tourism, right? To spend money on vacation. Why would you target a minority that's marginalized and economically disenfranchised? That doesn't make any sense. Doesn't sound like somebody looking for a money grab to me, right? And in regards to the usage of celebrities to drive promotion and market the country, listen, every single corporation, everybody uses celebrities, influencers to drive traffic and create buzz for whatever they have to offer, whether it's Apple, Nike, Pepsi, politicians, right? Kamala Harris, the Republicans, right? Didn't Donald Trump use a bunch of rappers, a bunch of washed up rappers on the campaign trail, right? Didn't Kamala Harris have Megan Thee Stallion twerking on the podium on the campaign trail? So like I said, man, you guys criticize African nations for the stupidest thing. So they looking for money grabs from a bunch of diasporans who don't got that much money for real, right? Oh, they targeting celebrities. Oh, like everybody else, every single corporation on the planet. Come on, man. You guys got to come with some better talking points. You got to come with some better talking points. I would have respected more if some of y'all just said, listen, I don't rock with Africa. Just say that instead. Don't come with all these, debunkable talking points that don't make sense. Oh, they looking for a money grab from a bunch of broke Negroes. Oh, damn, they using celebrities like everybody else. Stop it. Stop it. Anyways, man, it's your boy Neferkari Dessalines. Back in the Billy, yes, indeed. 21 Cannons, first single off the next project. Link in the description, pinned comment at the top. Support their Patreon, NTD1814, and I'm gone. Peace.
King of the North and I feel like Moise. Took a few losses, I'm back on my feet. Selling they soul for trinkets and cash. Right on the front like the leader from Chad. Feel like a see me, I feel like I'm Idris. Walking on gold, I handle my business. Honor, integrity, money, and power. Told me she love me, she want me in power. Told her I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you. Told her come over, come see me in person. Told her come over, I'm sick of the talking. Don't got no time cause that money be calling. Working all night and I'm up in the morning. Love when I call her, she love my attention. Body and soul, I'm truly protected. Back on that road and big body business. Told her I love her, I told her she mine. Get in that passenger seat, we gon' ride. Back on my mission, that money been stacking. Came from the bottom, I'm steady expanding. Run to the check and I pull up and vanish. Grabbing the neck from the back when I smash. Don't need no question, they know it's official. Cut from the cloth and my life ain't no fiction. Ride for the scene like I'm army enlist. Gotta stay focused, I'm moving deliberate. Heart of a king and my heart full of pain. Look at my neck and it's flooded with chains. And I got Dessalines blood in my veins. Enemy watching, I stay with a flame. Keep it 100, they know how we move. Black on black beam, interior blue. How you gon' leave me? I told you I love you. Pain in my heart, you knew I was trouble. Enemy watching, they wanna invade it. Hoping my brothers don't never betray us. Been on my mind and I hope I can save us. Look at my flaws, I don't see perfection. But I'm authentic, I'm whipping the 7. Like it's a phantom, I'm still manifesting. Gotta get money, I gotta get paid. Stay on my toes when I'm ducking these snakes. Go to my wrist and the queen on my arm. Feeling my energy, loving my charm. Might go put Dessalines face on a piece. Ready for war, that's how you get peace. Know I'm protected, I'm ready for action. When I walk in, I need 21 cannons. Secret location, I'm up in the palace. One of a kind and she loving my manners. One of a kind and I'm telling the truth. His and her Bentleys, I gotta get two. Feeling like future, we never gon' lose. Feeling like Garvey, I'm running the block. Entering off firm and I'm letting off shots. King of the North and I'm up at the top. How you gon' leave me? I told you I love you. Pain in my heart and you knew I was trouble. Enemy watching, they wanna invade it. Hoping my brothers don't never betray us. Been on on my mind and I hope I can save it. Look at my flaws, I don't